So I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that the longer I follow politics, the more cynical I become, because it just seems like human beings, we just want to wipe ourselves out, because if we don't do it inadvertently through catastrophic climate change, then we're bound to do it directly through nuclear annihilation. Because I think that, just at a basic level, we can all agree that the proliferation of nuclear weapons is bad, right? We can all agree. So if we agree that they're bad, then we can make the next logical jump and also assert that maybe countries shouldn't have them. Maybe no country should have them, including the United States. Maybe we should all just come together, with a vested interest in preserving humanity and say, let's all collectively get rid of our nuclear stockpiles at the same time. But we're not doing that. And if you care about the proliferation of nuclear weapons and the threat that that poses to humanity, then you should be especially vigilant about what Donald Trump is doing. Because what did he do when he became president? He got rid of the Iran nuclear deal. What did that do? Well, it actually made it easier, contrary to popular belief, for Iran to get a nuclear weapon. Because if you are saying you're not going to be part of an international agreement that allows for the International Atomic Energy Agency to regularly inspect them and make sure that they're complying with the deal and not building a nuclear weapon, then you're stupid. You're just making it easier for them to get a nuclear weapon. And furthermore, just a couple of weeks ago, we learned that he was pulling out of a landmark Cold War era treaty with Russia, which will possibly pave the way for even more nuclear weapons. And now he's doing something that has got to be the dumbest thing he's done yet. And as Jonathan Swan, Dave Lawler, and Elena Treen of Axios reports, President Trump is set to meet this afternoon with U.S. energy industry leaders to discuss issues including the possibility of providing Saudi Arabia with a path to nuclear power. The New York Times noted last November that privately, administration officials argue that if the United States does not sell the nuclear equipment to Saudi Arabia, someone else will, maybe Russia, China, or South Korea. A deal to help Saudi Arabia acquire nuclear energy would not require Senate approval per ProPublica, but Congress could block the deal with a joint resolution opposing it. Senior Democrats have previously expressed concerns. Let me repeat that. Donald Trump is meeting with industry leaders to discuss issues including the possibility of providing Saudi Arabia with a path to nuclear power. The logic is just baffling. Well, you see, this is more of an economic opportunity because if we don't sell them what they need to become a nuclear power, then it's going to be Russia or South Korea that's going to do it. I'm not going to use our power and international hegemony to put pressure on those countries to stop them from selling the equipment needed to make Saudi Arabia a nuclear power. We're just going to beat them to it so we can get that money. So our defense contractors and energy leaders can make money. I mean, has the world lost its mind? You want Saudi Arabia, an extreme Wahhabist regime, to be able to get closer to getting nuclear weapons? That isn't problematic. But Iran, who has explicitly stated they don't want nuclear weapons, them getting it is somehow worse. It's not just a deterrent for them. But Saudi Arabia, it's inevitable, so we might as well make money off of it. I mean, people, capitalism is going to kill us all. This is what's happening. He's using an economic, i.e. capitalistic justification for allowing Saudi Arabia to get the equipment needed to become a nuclear power. Now, developing nuclear just for an energy source, that's one thing, right? If they want a renewable source that's clean, sure. But what we're talking about here is nuclear power in the sense of it being military power, in the sense that they would have nuclear weapons. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable about that. I don't know about you, but I don't. And as Ken Klippenstein points out, this should kind of be a bigger story, because it absolutely should be a bigger story. I mean, this is so stupid. Why aren't we talking about denuclearization? Why aren't people pushing more so for us to get rid of our nuclear stockpiles. That should be the ultimate goal, not let more countries develop nuclear weapons. Now, does this mean that you become more hawkish? Well, no, of course not, but certainly at a minimum, let's just not encourage other countries, especially the crazy ones, from getting nuclear weapons. But I mean, again, it just feels like humans, they put profit over people, and they don't even care that it could lead to the end of our species. We are the dumbest species. We have to be the dumbest species in the entire universe. I mean, what other species goes against their own self-interest and desire to survive more so than us? I mean, we kill each other regularly. There's a war going on every single day somewhere around the country. And it's all because of something that we created, this concept called money. Well, there's something that's more important than money, and it's called survival. But apparently, our leaders don't care about survival. They care about their survival, but not the survival of, the aggregate species. And they put profits over people. I mean, what a stupid world that we live in. Donald Trump is a maniac, and needless to say, we should do everything in our power to defeat him in 2020.
Girly Mike Fettuccine needs your support on Patreon. What a loser. Visit patreon.com/Humanist Report to support the low ratings Humanist Report. Sad. My views are much higher.